UAAP women's basketball is back. We've had the under 16 high school division, we've had the men's. Now it's time for the women to take center stage. All eyes will be on Casey De La Rosa and Ateneo Blue Eagles, set to take on Rachel Lacayanga and the rest of the UAAP Lady Warriors. This is the opening game of UAAP Season 8 Women's Basketball Division. We have a full slate of games today, starting with the Blue Eagles and the aforementioned Lady Warriors. And then at 7 p.m. later on tonight, after the men's games, it's going to be the UP Fighting Maroons versus the Adamson Lady Falcons. This is all happening live and exclusive on One Sports, Pilipinas Live, and the UAP Varsity Channel. Hi everybody, and welcome to Season 88. My name is Yo-Yo Charmata, together with UAP champion, NU legend, Camille Karin. Cici, welcome to the broadcast panel. I know you're excited to be here.
Super excited. I'm so glad to be on this side of the sidelines. It's going to be my first call and I'm excited to be a part of it.
All right, Cici, before we get into the nitty-gritty details of this game, we have to remind everyone about the tournament format, something you're very familiar with.
Yeah, so we're back again to the double round robin. This is nothing we're not familiar with. The top 4 teams are going to advance to the playoffs, and then the top 2 seeds will also have a buy-in with a twice to be.
And with NU, you experience both. You experience sweeping, you experience, getting into the Final Four. How important is it to really get that first win?
You really want to establish that dominance early in the season. If you get that sweep, it's so much better. You can rest, you have that time to prepare for the finals.
And I'm sure that's what Sara Macanjula and the rest of the Blue Eagles are thinking about, because last season, Ateneo went to the Final Four for the 3rd straight season, but they lost in that stepladder Final Four against Adamson. But for Ateneo, this is really about, getting over that hump.
Yeah, Ateneo has had their fair share of entry into the playoffs, but I think it's definitely a year where they can take advantage of Casey's dominance and hopefully make it to the finals.
See on your screens really what happened for Ateneo this past season. 8-6 and lost to Adamson, just as we mentioned, but the highlight of course is 2-time MVP Casey De La Rosa and Sara Macanjula.
They were really able to save their season at the end of it. They were almost not able to get into the Final Four, but Casey's dominance is something you can always rely on down the stretch.
And of course, a new set of guards for Ateneo, but leading the backcourt is Kai Owani and Gracie Batong-Bakal. Those two, Coach LA was very excited about those two, that can really help Casey in the paint.
Yeah, with the loss of Janice Calago, I think there's going to open up a lot of playing time for these guards to step up. You know that when you're in the game, Casey is the main focus. So if we're going to have a lot of time for these guards to step up.
Right, we talked about the Blue Eagles. Their opponent has got their hands full talking about Rachel Lacayanga and the UE Lady Warriors. So let's take a look at what happened to their season. 1-13, but considering they were winless the past 2 seasons, this is definitely a step forward.
UE can only go up from here. They have a new coach, they have a new system. They can rely on the power of Lacayanga to push them forward. So it's going to be exciting to see what they can bring this season.
Both of us talked to Coach Ian before the game. You can really feel their excitement and really adventures. Wow, what this season can bring for UE.
Yeah, when you have a new coach and new players especially, they have a lot of rookies. They're going to be able to take the system and see what's going to go on.
All right, the stage is set. Coming up, it's the Ateneo Blue Eagles versus the UE Lady Warriors.
Get access and watch your favorite sporting events on Pilipinas Live with these easy steps. Download via Google Play or App Store. Once downloaded, enter a valid email address. Verify the OTP sent to your email address. Note that the OTP is valid for 5 minutes and for one-time use only. If no OTP is received, you may click on the Resend OTP button. Once successful, create and enter your password. Accept the terms and conditions to complete your registration. You can now log on to Pilipinas Live. Subscribe now for only 149 pesos monthly.
You know what I love about Pilipinas Live? I can watch me. Pilipinas Live lets me watch in different angles.
starting five, we'll have Delig, Bacalares, Ramos, Gulin, and their star forward, Rachel Lakayanga. We will debut as new head coach Ian Valdez versus Ateneo's coach L.A. Momar, who is now in his fourth season. Our officials on deck, Yunsun, Lazaro, and Sanoan. We are coming to you live from the UNC Quadricentennial Pavilion right here in Manila. It's the opening game for the women's division, Ateneo versus UE. Did you have a lot of opening game jitters when you were playing?
Of course. You always want to start the game on a high note. You want to start the season dominant. And with NU, we always have the target on our back. So we always put an emphasis on starting the season strong.
I have to see Coach L.A. Momar versus Coach Ian Valdez. Coach Ian in his first season with the red and white. Here we go, quarter number one. Opening day of season 88 women's basketball. Ateneo versus UE. Glad you can join us on One Sports Filipina side app and UAAP Varsity channel. We go right away to the two-time MVP. And that's one way to start the ball game.
You know they're going to go to Casey inside, so UE has to put an emphasis early because she is one player you cannot get going.
Casey coming off a career year. I think she's coming off, better numbers than her first MVP season. Averaged 22 and 16 last season.
I mean, ever since Casey has entered the league, she's been the MVP. So you can always know that you're going to rely on her for points, rebounds, whatever it is on the court.
Well, they gave her Rookie of the Year back in season 85. So she's got a ton of awards under her belt as you see this rebound from Macanjula. Villa Cruz with the spin. Got it.
Okay, it is nice to see Sandra aggressive early. She's definitely in her last year, so it's going to be nice to see her be aggressive and be one of their players to focus on.
And the full court pressure being applied now by the Blue Eagles and resulting into a tip. As you see this replay from Sandra Villa Cruz.
That's her favorite. Drive right, spin move, pull up in the paint.
Offensive foul on UE's first possession. So Coach Ian Valdez played for one season with UE back in season 75. Now he's back for UE coaching for the very first time as the head coach of the UE Lady Warriors.
UE's putting pressure on them early. It's good to see that both teams are playing the full court game.
You experience a lot of, backcourt pressure and using your height and build. You're tasked a lot to carry the ball. It's really hard.
Yeah, it really is. You want to delay. You want to prevent the team from having as much time in the half court because less time means less time to execute, right?
Ball will stay with Ateneo. Lots of time on the shot clock for the Blue Eagles. They go with Sara Macanjula. Nearly turn the ball over and ends up with Villa Cruz. Drives. Pass was off and with a clean-up job courtesy of Macanjula.
Sarah is really cleaning up the boards right now. She already has 2 rebounds and she's not necessarily looking for her score, but looking to get the best shot possible.
A dream start so far for Ateneo, and De La Rosa is fouled. Rachel Lakayanga, expected to be one of the go-to scorers for UE this season. Here comes Ateneo rookie, Millie Malagar. She spent 2 seasons with Ateneo. Entry pass is off. Lady Warriors are running. Here comes Lakayanga. She is bumped by Owani.
There you go. That's good to see that Rachel's pushing the ball early. She needs to get to the line. She needs to establish a scoring presence for UE.
What were your first impressions when you first faced off against Rachel?
She's a very shifty guard. She gets to the basket in a way where it's almost a quiet, like, you'll look at the scoreboard after and you'll be like, how did she have that many points? Which I love. I love to see in a player, someone who's efficient, someone who scores sneakily, but she's a very good impact player.
Rachel averaged nearly 13 points per game last season. Goes 1 for 2 there. And UE is on the board for season 88. Pressure now being applied by UE.
Great
and they can't get it across. That was a textbook press.
Yeah. What's nice is they're not necessarily going for the steal. They're just going to delay the time to get that to get that violation. Because a lot of times when you're in the press, you want to go for the steal, but the value isn't just getting the possession back.
Yes, sometimes, coaches, you don't have to dive, you don't have to, Lakayanga, nice move inside.
She just knows how to get to the basket so well.
How will Ateneo get it across this time? Lakayanga comes up with a steal. Bacalares! And she will earn the trip to the free throw line. Here's what to talk about, CC, the ability to get to the hoop.
A little double cross as soon as she saw the defender switch. She was there and getting to the basket.
There was that full court press resulting in free throws for Bacalares. So this is interesting, CC. Both teams applying a ton of pressure at the start of this game. So here comes that full court pressure once again. So a 5-0 burst here by UE. De La Rosa.
Way to meet her at the rim. I think that's the easiest way to break the press. Get the ball in the middle and push it up the court. You have advantages. You don't need to dribble the ball that much.
So Villa Cruz will trigger in. There was a whistle on the pass. Now talking about Casey, you guys, like if you were to give pointers to someone who's guarding De La Rosa, Coach Ian, what would you say? What are the tips in guarding someone like Casey?
You need to be aggressive and you need to be physical with her. Casey is so efficient and she knows how to get to the rim. But if you're really going at her physically, she's gonna get tired eventually.
She's not tired right now. Scored 2 more points for Casey De La Rosa. It's 8-5, 7:20 remaining. De La Rosa will push. Owani all day to shoot. That was a bit to the right. De La Rosa, too big. And timeout is called at the 7:06 mark. Ateneo up by 5 over UE.
You know what I love about Filipinas Live? I can watch me. Filipinas Live lets me watch in different angles. No. I'm referring to the multi-cam feature. It allows me to chat with the other viewers too, which
We
means
see Quadricentennial Pavilion, where the Ateneo Blue Eagles have a 10-5 lead over the UE Lady Warriors. Sarmiento together with CC Camille Clarion on the call. First impressions, CC, on these two teams as we see this replay from Ateneo.
We already know that Casey is going to be the point of emphasis for Ateneo. She's getting rebounds, she's getting easy looks at the basket. So UE needs to put the pressure on her and hopefully take her out of the paint.
So Ateneo got off to a 6-0 start. Then UE countered with a 5-0 start. With a 5-0 run rather. Another offensive foul on the screen.
UE needs to be a little wary right now. They have 6 fouls, and a lot of them are coming off of the screens. They need to just be a little more patient when using those screens.
Makajula trying to post up. Shot clock reads 10. Owani makes her move. Owani left-handed layup. And she is fouled.
Owani was one of the players we were referencing earlier because with the loss of Calago, some guards need to step up. That was a lot of playing time lost, so for her to get aggressive early, that's a good sight to see.
You know, I asked you what were your first impressions of Rachel. What were your first impressions on Owani? She was really, there was a lot of buzz during her first year.
Yeah, Owani is a very skilled player. I think what she just needs to get more reps. She needs to be more confident at leading her team. You're a point guard. You want to really take advantage of the bigs you have and establish your presence early.
So Owani played a lot of minutes, just as Cece mentioned, at the point. She had big shoes to fill when Jazz left.
Yeah, of course. Jasmine Hawson is not a player you can really fill the shoes of, but you can definitely replicate the energy that she brings and her scoring prowess.
That was blocked by Makanjula. She just blocked by Makanjula. That's tough for Rachel Gonzalez.
Yeah, it's a good take. She needs to be aggressive. She's their #1 scoring output. But at the same time, switch it up a little. Maybe she could have a little pull-up, not get to the basket so deep.
Three-pointer was off from Tindal Buntas. Foul for the loose ball and ends up with a foul. So 6:17 remaining. I think that was the foul just as the loose ball was happening. And here comes rookie Hannah Lopez, which Coach L.A. Momar is really excited about. You know, Hannah Lopez, Millie Malaga, these are the rookies. And Erica De Luna, she's really hyped about these rookies.
Yeah, I know Hannah Lopez have had experience on the Gilas circuit, so it's gonna be interesting to see what she can bring to the Ateneo team.
Played for the FIBA Under-16 of Gilas Pilipinas back in 2022. Bacalares probing. Push shot won't work. Ball is happening, will stay with UE. Coach Ian emphasized, learning good habits, starting strong, and because this is a rebuilding year for them. Shot clock becoming a factor. Nakayanga, that is a bit to the right. Malaga will push. He has Lopez on the right. Malaga, Millie gets the roll.
First basket of UAAP. I think it's good to see that Malaga was one of the people that Coach LA emphasized on, someone who's going to make an impact this year.
Malaga has some Division III experience in the States. As Tindal Buntas gets the floater.
Love the confidence. A floater over Casey De La Rosa.
Drive by Lopez, too strong. She got her own miss, but she came out of bounds. This is something we did not see a lot, from Ateneo, big guards going to the hoop. And the answer from Tin Dalguntas. Cancho is in for Ateneo. Oh, Lakayanga had no room there, but made something out of nothing.
Still able to draw the foul.
Hannah Lopez is called for the foul. So Lakayanga averaged almost 13, but she really had a tough time with shooting the basketball just under 30% because all the defense was focused on her.
Right, all the defense is focused on her, and she's a player who loves to go downhill. When you're a player who loves to go downhill, there's not that much legs left for your shot to get up.
Some changes now for Ateneo. Batong Bakal, will she get it across? Barely, but the steal is completed by UE. Here's Buscar. Ronquillo takes aim, got it.
The best thing you can do for UE is to bring Casey out of the paint, and that's what Ronquillo is able to do. Now that she's able to hit that three, it's going to put the pressure on Casey to guard her outside.
And UE's team captain gets her first three of the ballgame of a pick and pop too.
Great patience on that shot.
So just a three-point advantage being enjoyed by Ateneo. Cancho fighting for the basketball. And I think Buscar is called for the foul as she battled for the basketball against Cancho. So no free throws. Shot clock 14 for Villa Cruz. Quick foul on Villa Cruz. That's another foul on Lakayanga.
UE already has 10 fouls and the quarter is not over yet. There's still 4 minutes to go. I love that they're being aggressive, but they really need to draw back a little bit on those fouls.
Is it, can we credit first game jitters, the nerves are just all over the place?
Of course. Everyone wants to get to the ball first. Everyone wants to get to the basket first.
We facing a 4-point deficit. Ronquillo asking for it, does not get it. Now she does. Ronquillo is fouled. So a lot of fouls in this first period.
It's nice to see that even though Ronquillo didn't get that swing on the top, she was still willing to do something and to move and find a place in the basket.
Terrific point. Sometimes, when you don't get the first pass, you kind of get discouraged and don't get the second. This is the rebuild season for UE, led by their captain, Ali Ronquillo. Finished 1-13 last season, but they did snap a 40-game losing streak dating back to season 82.
That first win was super emotional for that team. You can really feel the joy of getting that first win.
Then they beat LaSalle. That's a traveling infraction called on the rookie, Erica De Luna. Seeing her first couple of minutes here in the UAAP Women's Division. coming out of De La Salle Zobel. Ronquillo spots up.
Okay.
Second three for Ali Ronquillo.
Back to back.
Ronquillo, 2 threes now, ties it up at 15. Macanjula is fouled. Here's that three-pointer, CC.
A clean shot into the little hop step.
Ronquillo just made 14 threes last season. Now she's already up to 2.
It looks like somebody was working on that in the off season.
Macanjula knocks down the first. Sarah, fresh off a season 87 elite team recognition, formerly known as Mythical 5. So she's also coming up a very good year for Ateneo.
Sarah has always been a solid player. She's someone you can always rely on. I think this year we're going to see her have a lot more breakout games.
So Sarah goes 2 for 2. As Heaven Lithuania enters the ball game. So UE keeping things close here against a Final Four team. This is a positive sign for the Lady Warriors. But the turnover slowly piling up for UE.
Both sides of the floor over 5 turnovers, so I think this is where the pre-game or the first game jitters are coming out.
So Ateneo turns the ball over quickly. It is a 10-3 run by UE. And nice drive there by Sibyl Oñate. It's a game of runs so far. Ateneo got on the board quickly, but UE rather has found all the answers so far. UE has 5 veterans. And really a new look for UE under Coach Ian Valdez.
Now we have Ashley Trinidad checking into the game, former NU Bullpups. So it's nice to see her find her stride in UE in the college scene.
Under 3 minutes to play here in the opening period. Macanjula is doubled. Does not care.
Defense was good, offense was just better in that sequence.
And finally, a field goal for Ateneo. They were silent for 5 minutes plus in terms of field goals. Buscar looking to attack. 6 to shoot. Rebound secured by Macanjula. Matombaka will work the screen. It's with the rookie De Luna. Erica will attack. Nice feed. De La Cruz all day to shoot. Just couldn't get it to drop.
That was a good find by Erica De Luna.
Under 2 minutes to play here in the first chapter of this contest. Blue Eagles are running. Pancho. And free throws once again for Ateneo.
That's what they need to do. That's what was lacking earlier, pushing the ball in the fast break.
This is just tough for any front court player to guard Sara Macanjula.
There are already 2 girls on her. There's not much you can do.
Returning for Ateneo is Malagar. Casey De La Rosa and Sarah really the 1-2 punch so far for Ateneo. Ateneo gets another crack at the basket. De Luna takes aim. Left it at the front rim. Oh, blocked by De Luna. Malagar waits for everybody. Now takes her shot. Hits the back iron. Oh, errant pass by Oñate. Cancho. Oh, can't get it off the glass. Helter-skelter play on both sides. And Gracie says, let's reset. Outside, Millie. Triple won't drop.
All good shots for Ateneo. The ball is just not dropping for them, but you can really see that they're going for that offensive rebound.
40 seconds left in this first period. Shot was too strong from Ivy Yanez. De Luna sees daylight. De Luna. Free throw sign once again.
Ateneo has gone into the line a lot in this first quarter, but they're not really taking advantage of that. They're shooting right now 45% from the line, so hopefully that percentage increases in the next couple of quarters.
De La Rosa and Owani returns. And at the line is Erica De Luna. Made headlines back in high school when she recorded the first ever quadruple double in the UAAP. Get this, CC, 32 points, 16 rebounds, 11 assists, and 12 steals.
For me, it's that 12 steals.
Yeah,
12
right?
steals is an insane number.
And she did it against Ateneo when she was still part of De La Salle Zobel. So both teams shuffling their players for the last 31 seconds. 7 seconds, yeah.
Ideally, UE can either tie the game or get within 1 point.
Nakayanga is fouled by Lopez. So lots of fouls on both sides, CC.
Yes, this is a foul-heavy game, but it also just goes to show that each team is both teams are being really aggressive.
It's also interesting to see, Ateneo's rookies, when they get matched up against Rachel, how they address in real time. Oh, this is how Lakayanga operates.
Yeah, because Lakayanga is able to cut angles really quickly. She gets to the basket so well, as you can see in all of the possessions where she's tried.
I think there was an issue with the substitutions. Oh, okay, now we're good. Last 15 seconds for Ateneo. Almost a stolen pass.
I really thought she was going to hit Sarah down low. I think that's what Ateneo hasn't done too much of. They have two bigs, so if they're going to utilize that for a high-low play, that could be super effective for them.
12.3 remaining. De Luna trying to get the rock. Nakayanga, that will be foul number 3. So Coach Ian Valdez has a decision to make. And even Rachel surprised that, she's looking at her bench asking, I got 3? So De Luna knocks down the first. 8.7 seconds remaining in what has been essentially slow first period. last shot time for UE. They can cut it to 1 or even tie it up. The drive blocked by De La Rosa. Nice move though by Bacalares. So UE will get the ball back for the last 2.7 seconds. Bacalares will take the 3, too strong. And that will do it for the first 10 minutes of play. Ateneo with a 3-point lead, 21-18. UE staying in step with a Final Four team. Now let's revisit the first 10 minutes of action, TC.
We can see that Rachel was really aggressive starting the game early, but her foul trouble is a little concerning.
As we see the highlights from that first period. And a lot of Sarah and a lot of Casey for Ateneo.
Yeah, a lot of inside points, so it's going to be interesting to see what rookies and what guards step up from the outside.
So a lot of free throws at the end of the first 10 minutes of action. Let's see if they get a more flow in the second period. So the Blue Eagles have a 21-18 lead over the Lady Warriors.
You know what I love about Pilipinas Live? I can watch me. Pilipinas Live lets me watch in different angles. No. I'm referring to the multi-cam feature. It allows me to chat with the other viewers too, which means I can read your comments too. Come on, guys. That's what I'm talking about. And it's not just games, there's original content too. And that is Pilipinas Love. I mean, Pilipinas Live.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball.
It's Antenna Pavilion right here at the UST campus, where it's the opening game of the UAAP Season 8-8 Women's Basketball Division. The Ateneo Blue Eagles have a 21-18 advantage over the UAAP Warriors. Leo Sarmento together with Camille Clarin calling the action. And Cici, first 10 minutes of play for Season 8-8. What are your impressions so far on these two teams?
It's great to see that the game is close. Both teams are really getting aggressive in the paint. We want to see a little bit more set plays in the half. I think that's what's gonna prove which team is gonna win this game.
So 10 minutes are down. Second quarter underway here. Thank you for joining us on One Sports, Pilipinas Live, and the UAAP Varsity Channel. And Kai Uwani starts us off with a near steal, and she completes the turnover. De Luna finds De La Rosa. Casey taking her time. De La Rosa, the bang and the bucket.
Essentially, when there's nothing to do on offense, give the ball to Casey and let her work. I think that's really the game plan when it comes for Ateneo.
A very good game plan.
Very reliable player.
KC now up to 8 points after that N1. Missed the free throw, however. For UE, that's an unfortunate start to this period. He turned the ball over and gave up an N1 for Casey. Oñate, shadowed by Cancho. Nice feed to the rookie Trinidad.
That was a tough pass with the left hand. And it's good to see that Trinidad is posting up and recognizing her advantage on Owani.
Shot clock at 14. Ronquillo has 2 triples to her name. Will go to the line.
She has 2 triples to her name, which means you have to guard her from the outside. So it's good that she recognizes that players are going to come up closer to her. Now she can drive to the basket.
It's a great recognition coming from the team captain, Alia Ronquillo. Eight points now for Ali. Make it 10, the leading scorer. First player in double digits in this game, Ali Ronquillo. And the bump from Ronquillo. Nearly had the steal. Slight bump.
They need to be a little bit more disciplined on this press and adjust to the calls of the referees. You know the referees are really calling all the contacts. So if you're UE, you need to draw back a little bit.
You know, that's an underrated facet of the game, how you adjust to the calls. You really have to, right?
Yeah, not every referee is going to call the same. You just have to be aware of what's going on.
And De La Rosa now in double figures. Bank shot won't work for Oñate. Owani will go to the line. Nice find here by Ateneo. And too easy for KC. Ateneo consistently finding De La Rosa in the paint.
And if they're not finding her in the paint, if you see what Casey is doing when they push the ball, she's really sealing her man to give their guards the lane.
Owani at the line. Her and Sandra Villacruz are the captains of this Ateneo team this season. Changes for UE. A minute into this contest. Slow start for UE in particular. Belling to Trinidad, the rookie. Three-pointer on the way. That was too strong from Bacalares. De Luna sees daylight once again, but misses the layup. That could be an offensive foul on Macanjula, inadvertently elbowing her defender. Nice move though by De Luna.
It was a good take, and it's good to see that. Even as a rookie, she's really willing to show what she's got.
There's that accidental elbow. That must have hurt.
Yeah, I've had my fair share of elbows from Sarah.
We trying to recover from this slow start here in the second period. Bacalares, pass picked off by De La Rosa. Clear lane to the hoop. Casey. Biggest lead of the ball game for Ateneo. It's 31-20 as we head into the timeout. So it's 29-20. After that timeout, here's that sequence once again, CC.
They're really putting the pressure on UE, and that's why they're able to force turnovers and get easy baskets.
Here's that pressure once again. Bacalares. Does not work. Delig. Drives baseline. Shot clock under 10. Here's Buscar. Buscar. Step back. Jay over De La Rosa. Off to the right. Malagar dancing. Millie could not find the angle. Just 2 points so far for UE. It's an 8-2 quarter in favor of Ateneo. Rebound secured by De Luna. Go to Macanjula. Takes her time. Tough basket and finish.
When you have a rim runner, someone getting to the basket right away, when you either have to look at Sarah or Casey, it's almost sure that you're going to be able to get something down the line.
And that's tough for Trinidad to really guard Macanjula.
Yeah, as a rookie, that's your defensive matchup. Not the easiest entry to the league.
Now credit Ateneo's guards in really finding their bigs.
I mean, you got two of them. You got two players to work with. If it's not one, it's the other. So as a guard, that's your responsibility to be able to find those girls and execute.
So now it is 31-20, 11-point lead. Stolen by De Luna. Owani has one person to beat. Owani! And one for Kai Owani. Check out the steal first by De Luna. Then the dribble by Owani. You gotta appreciate that, CC.
Yeah, De Luna's not necessarily getting her shots on offense, but you can see she's really putting an effort in on the defensive side.
Again, she had 12 steals in that quadruple double game. She has a very great defensive prowess. Louis gets it across. Buscar trying to restore things for UE. Gets a screen from Lumbao. Lumbao asking for it. Buscar hits the back of the iron.
That's a good shot. They're really getting that early look, that mid-range jumper off of the screens. So if you're going to have to take that shot, it's better than getting to the rim and getting blocked by Casey.
And speaking of Casey, De La Rosa put 2 more points to her name. It is now a 16-point advantage for UE. Again, only 2 points for the Lady Warriors in this contest. Buscar spins. That's a good shot.
There you go. I think Lacayanga's presence on the bench is making them struggle a little on the offensive side, but it's nice to see somebody else get buckets.
Much needed basket from Buscar. De La Rosa. That's a miss. Nice defensive stop by UE. Let's see that action once again from Ateneo.
They have the right intention with trying to force the ball over the defender, but that's when you need that secondary help to come in and close it on Casey.
So Lacayanga is back into the ball game, has 3 fouls to her name. White ball, says our official. Lily Malaga re-enters the ball game for fellow rookie Erica De Luna. Coach LA stressed about the importance of the rookies making an impact this season. Coming up at the halfway mark of the second period. 5 to shoot for Ateneo.
The foul troubles don't end right now for UE. They're doing a good job at staying in front and forcing them to go side to side.
Coach Ian looks at his bench, searching for answers.
And now, sadly, that's Lacayanga's 4th foul, so she has to go to the bench. There's really no choice at this point. It's only the second quarter.
How did you manage foul trouble? You know, Cece, on the rare times you were in foul trouble.
Rare. I don't
rare.
think I'm one to get into foul trouble, actually. The only time I really fouled out was probably because I had a technical, and that's the one that threw me out.
That was the 5th foul.
Yeah, that was the 5th one. That was the lock in the box.
As you see the rookies of Ateneo, impressive so far in their season debuts. Lithuania sees 2 defenders.
Good patience.
Buscar to Ivy. Ivy challenges the defense. Good intention, but
Good
poor
intention.
execution.
Yeah, you just need to know who you're passing to. If she could have had that little floater right in the middle. There you go, good pressure.
And can Ateneo get it back? Yes, they did. And the shot clock reset it, so that's why they were able to get it across. Malagar caught it in traffic.
Right now the foul count is 20 to 9. And it's not even the end of the second quarter.
UE, young team, they're probably still trying to identify their identity. What are their defensive goals as a team? Coach Ian did say that when he took over last June, they need time. They need to build that chemistry on and off the court.
Yeah, this whole season is going to be about adjusting, seeing what works, what doesn't, and just getting back to the drawing board.
De La Rosa just re-entered the ball game. Coming up at the 4-minute mark of this first half. Bacalares probing. Shot clock at 2. And it's a shot clock violation. Terrific defense by Ateneo. Coach L.A. Momar, he and his team were 5th in points allowed. They only allowed about 66 points. And it's a very good first half for them, limiting their opponents. De La Rosa positioning herself, the bump from behind.
They're always looking at Casey getting downhill with that back screen. UE needs to be able to cut her off and bump her earlier before she gets down in the paint.
Now, coaches, as they say, do the work early.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was foul number 4 on Trinidad. On Buscar, rather. And Ateneo continues to pile on this lead. Casey goes 2 for 2. He gets it across.
Good one more.
Bacalares, triple on the way, in and out. strong rebound from Trinidad. That was Yanez rather. Here comes Yui once again. Oñate blocked up top by De La Rosa.
That was a good possession. They had a couple offensive rebounds and they were able to take good shots. It's just when you're dealing with Casey, good shots are not enough.
De La Rosa. Errant pass. Oñate will wait for friends. Let's see if UE can get into their offensive set here. Bacalares with a shot fake. Tries inside for two.
Great take. I think if UE just opens up the floor a little bit, gives the players room to drive, they're going to be able to see better baskets.
No, it's the little things. Trying to get into the teeth of the defense. Talking about UE. And here they come once again. Foul on Sandra Villacruz. Let's see that drive once more. Great aggressive move.
Yep, she was able to get contact and get a shot off.
So Ateneo goes big as Makanjula and Casey are both on the floor. At the line is Sybil Oñate. Two misses from Oñate. Two sorry misses. Could have cut this deficit by Ateneo. De La Cruz gets her own miss and another N1 opportunity for De La Rosa.
If Casey's not going to make the first one, you're going to be sure that she's trying to get the rebound for that second basket.
And did you really have of course you had a defensive game plan for Casey, but did you stress about getting rebounds when you face Ateneo?
Of course. Ateneo is one of the best rebounding teams because you have their twin towers. So it's not enough to just block the shot of Casey or to make it harder for her. You have to finish the play with a rebound.
And she completes the N1. Casey, first half, 18 points. And the meter's still running. Villacruz completes the steal. Nice steal by Villacruz coming in hot. Bacalares did not see her. So Sandra Villacruz, one of the captains of this team, the veteran. Coach LA talked about, bench depth. That's one of the big things for them this season. And you can't be top heavy with Casey and Sarah. The whole team has to contribute.
Yeah, especially if they want to have a longer run in the playoffs this year. The bench depth is always what makes the other team stand out. The best team stand out from the great teams.
No, exactly. The Lady Bulldogs during your time was really high on bench points and minutes distribution, points distribution.
Yeah, if you have a team that's 2-3 rotations deep, it's very hard to stop.
Jump ball resulting in the possession for Ateneo. Turnover. That's a good sign for you, trying to stop Ateneo.
Yeah, UE may be down by 20, but they're a young team. They're rebuilding. So if they can just get a few plays, look at what works, that's going to be beneficial for them later in the season.
Floater won't work. Here comes UE once again. Yanez, high looping shot is offline. Rebound secured by Ateneo. Owani uses the screen. Makanjula recovers, overcooks the shot, and turnover with under a minute to play.
That was a good use of the ball screen by Kai. She was really leading Sarah into that layup. Sarah just needs to get to 2 and finish the basket.
Lots of free throws, lots of turnovers for this first game. UE has only scored 6 points in this period after scoring 18 in the first.
I think it was hard for them to keep going once the foul trouble kept racking up. But it's good to see a lot of their younger girls trying to step up, trying to get to the basket.
So 50 seconds remaining here in the first half, highlighted by a second period dominated by Ateneo. That will work for Lithuania.
Great take, a little left-hand floater.
A couple of floaters coming from UE this period. And a turnover for Ateneo.
There you go. This is great momentum going into the second half. UE just needs to capitalize on this and hopefully get a bucket.
And that was over Sara Makanjula. Well, about a 9-second difference between the two clocks. Onyate rejected up top. Ball stolen back by the Lady Warriors. They can hold for the last shot if they choose to. Bacalares caught in traffic.
Time awareness is big.
3 seconds. De La Rosa for 3. That will do it for the first half. A dominant second period allowed Ateneo to create this separation. 45-27. Let's revisit that second period, CC.
There was a little bit of a scoring lull here for UE, and Ateneo was able to capitalize on it. They really made an emphasis on getting Casey the ball, getting their paint touches, and pushing the ball, especially with the guards like Owani. She's able to find her stride early.
UE did found some life towards the tail end of the period. They got their field goals going, but too much Casey De Rosa, who had 19 points in that first half alone. So that will do it for the first 20 minutes of action. Ateneo with a 45-27 lead over UE.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Get access and watch your favorite sporting events on Pilipinas Live with these easy steps. Download via Google Play or App Store. Once downloaded, enter a valid email address. Verify the OTP sent to your email address. Note that the OTP is valid for 5 minutes and for one-time use only. If no OTP is received, you may click on the Resend OTP button. Once successful, create and enter your password. Accept the terms and conditions to complete your registration. You can now log on to Pilipinas Live. Subscribe now for only 149 pesos monthly.
You know what I love about Filipinas Live? I can watch me. Filipinas Live lets me watch in different angles. No. I'm referring to the multicam feature. It allows me to chat with the other viewers too, which means I can read your comments too. Come on, guys. That's what I'm talking about. And it's not just games, there's original content too. That is Filipinas Love. Filipinas Live.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP. All in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Get access and watch your favorite sporting events on Pilipinas Live with these easy steps. Download via Google Play or App Store. Once downloaded, enter a valid email address. Verify the OTP sent to your email address. Note that the OTP is valid for 5 minutes and for one-time use only. If no OTP is received, you may click on the Resend OTP button. Once successful, create and enter your password. Accept the terms and conditions to complete your registration. You can now log on to Pilipinas Live. Subscribe now for only 149 pesos monthly.
You know what I love about Filipinas Live? I can watch me. Filipinas Live lets me watch in different angles. No. I'm referring to the multicam feature. It allows me to chat with the other viewers too, which means I can read your comments too. Come on, guys. That's what I'm talking about. And it's not just games, there's original content too. And that is Filipinas Love. Filipinas Live.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart.
For UE, but I think once Lacayanga was in foul trouble, they kind of pulled away. Ateneo was able to capitalize on that, especially with Casey's dominant presence, having 19 points in the first half. It's only up from there for her.
So you see, the first quarter, Ateneo only had a 3-point lead, but in the second period, they really put their foot down on the gas pedal and really took charge. That's where they pulled away with a score of 24-9 here in the second period. So let's revisit that, CC.
I think regardless of if UE is down by this much, you can see a lot of positives from their game. You see a lot of people, other than Lacayanga getting to the basket, able to see an offensive presence from them.
So those are the second quarter highlights. A late surge by UE found their offensive groove, but hopefully they can start the third quarter strong because Casey De La Rosa has been feasting inside the paint. 19 first half points for the reigning two-time MVP. So let's take a look at the numbers of that first half. What stands out to you, CC?
For me, it's the starters' points versus the bench points. Ateneo is always known for having a high output from their starters, but it's nice to see that UE has had 17 points from their bench.
So a significant difference in numbers, as CC mentioned, and also a big difference in terms of the leading scorers. De La Rosa with 19 leading everybody. And for UE, 9 points for Ali Ronquillo. So again, this is the opening day for women's basketball in season 88. Yoyo Sarmiento together with CC, Camille Claren. CC, it's the first day of the season. Of course, there are a lot of opening day jitters for these two teams.
I mean, UE is rebuilding and Ateneo is really looking for that push to the finals here this year. But it's good to see that both teams are aggressive starting the game out.
So this second half, we'll see some adjustments from these teams. What do you want to see from both sides?
I want UE to have an answer for Casey in whatever way they can, whether that's doubling her, tripling her. Try to get her out of the game so that other players are forced to score instead of Casey.
So De La Rosa, as we mentioned, 19 first half points, set the tone. Her career high, I believe, is 34 against UP. So she is on pace to shatter that. For UE, aside from their defensive adjustments, nice showing so far from Ali Ronquillo with those 2 threes.
I mean, as your captain, you really want to set the tone for the rest of your team, whether that's in scoring, rebounding, or stopping the best player on the other team. So Ronquillo, I hope she's able to get more looks at the basket and keep shooting from the outside.
We're still coming to you live from the UEC Quadricentennial Pavilion for our first game. The second game of the women's division will take place at 7 p.m. UP versus Adamson. So the women's games are usually split, one in the afternoon and one at night. And you had the night game right here at UAC, right, CC?
Not a fan of the night games here in the Quadricentennial Pavilion, but it's always nice to see that the women's are getting those prime time events.
Moments away from the start of the third period. Let's see what adjustments the Lady Warriors did during the halftime break. Ronquillo, the leading scorer so far for UE with 9. She hit 2 3-pointers back in the first half. Bacalares cut off. Shot clock becoming a factor. Somebody has to get busy here. Shot clock at 2. De Luna with another defensive stop.
They were executing their offense well, but it was just a little too long. Once they got a shot at the basket, they need to take it.
So De Luna is in the starting unit for the second half. Here she is with the basketball to De La Rosa, too deep in the paint.
Good idea, but sometimes the fancy pass just needs to be a simple one. That's what Casey was pointing over to her earlier.
Ronquillo will drive, create space. Yui with another chance, but the shot clock is still winding down. Shot clock violation. First-year head coach Ian Valdez, former UE player. He is a young coach, just 32 years of age.
Also formerly coached by Coach I. Labornio.
And Coach I, the former UE coach, was with UE for more than a decade. So this is definitely a new era for UE. A minute and a half into this third period. Bacalares gets the three.
We've seen her attempt. She's had some attempts on the outside, so it was just a matter of time on when they were going to fall.
That was UE's third three of the contest. Sarah overcooks the shot. Stolen back by De La Rosa.
A lot of back and forth here. We kind of just need to see a little bit more patience because UE is able to stop these attempts.
And Ronquillo gets hit on the face. That's what Coach Ian is trying to tell our official, but 2 points nonetheless for Macanjula.
Going up against Sarah, I know those are not intentional. I think just the way she's holding the ball, it's almost a matter of time if someone gets hit.
Delig to Ronquillo, 5 to shoot. Quick trigger, yes! So back-to-back threes for UE.
UE shooting well from the outside. If you can't get it inside with the Twin Towers, you might as well just keep shooting.
Terrific point, but here comes De La Rosa with a spin move and the finish.
There's no stopping that. That's okay. They're able to post up with her and they were able to force her to tough shots.
Ronquillo, I thought it was a third three in a row. Here's that three-pointer from the first one from Bacalares.
Yeah, she had a couple of attempts that were long earlier, so it's nice to see that she adjusted.
Cleanup job courtesy of Macanjula.
UE cannot keep going basket for basket. They definitely need to get a couple of stops and stop the bleeding when it comes to Ateneo.
That shot was off. Here comes UE with another chance. Yanez, a bit to the side. De Luna can't recover the pass. Owani apologizes to De Luna. Sibyl Onyate re-enters the ball game. With 2 threes here in the early goings of the third. Here's Onyate.
Good backdoor cut.
Just couldn't finish for Moana Bacalares.
That was a good look at the basket though. Ateneo's putting the pressure, so if you're gonna find something, you're gonna find something to the basket.
Casey, that's way outside her comfort zone. Stolen away by UE, 2 players down. And Yanes helps Villa Cruz. Foul from behind.
Good awareness of Ronquillo, seeing that she has a mismatch. I mean, it's not going to be often that she has a mismatch, so to capitalize on that when she does, that's good.
So more flow, I should say, in this third period than the second period where there were a lot of fouls and turnovers.
Yeah, we're getting more basketball. We're getting less stops.
Yanes had the notion, decides to pass. Ronquillo, 3 to shoot. Too strong for Lithuania. Gets her own miss.
UE is very aggressive on those offensive rebounds. You're almost going to assume that Casey and any other big on Ateneo will get those boards, but they're feisty.
Feisty is the apt word here. But Ateneo still with an 18-point advantage. Yanes is huffing and puffing, trying to guard De La Rosa. Trinidad will enter. Maria Trinidad together with Lakayanga.
Rachel needs to tone it down a little because she already has 4 fouls coming into the game.
That's the halfway mark of the third. Offensive foul on the screen from De La Rosa. Casey will take a breather. You know what luxury for Ateneo to have, Casey sit, Sire re-enter, have the two together.
They always have an inside presence no matter what lineup is on the court. That's always been their strong suit.
Onyate. Ronquillo off the curl.
She's continuing to carry the scoring load for UE, and I think it's just good to see that whether she's shooting from the outside or getting inside, she has multiple options of scoring.
Ronquillo has really stepped into her role as the captain, leading by example. Cancho. Nowhere to go. Somehow, the ball finds its way to Sara Macanjula. Cancho had nowhere to go here, but just the presence of mind to go to Sara at the last second.
And her ability to see that she's not going to get it on the strong side, so get it on the weak side.
Macanjula now with a double-double, 14 and 10. And we still have 4 minutes left to go here in the third. So the lead is at 19 for Ateneo. Lakayanga will attack. Rachel can't get it off the glass. And 2 Eagles collide.
It looked like Lakayanga went almost 2 rounds of just sprinting the whole way around the court. You know she's going to try to get baskets. She's been out of the game for a bit, so we want to see her keep being aggressive.
Oh, gets an open look there from the corner. But the shot was way off the mark. Malagar will attack Lakayanga. Gracie from deep. That was way short. Three and a half to play here in the third. It's been a tight third period. Ronquillo overcooks the shot. Great defense from Oñate and really came up with the steal.
I think the jitters are pretty evident here for Gracie, but she has the support of Kai. She has the support of her other veterans, so she just needs to keep pushing and keep building that confidence.
When you were a veteran, I would assume that you gave a lot of pointers to your rookies.
Oh, of course.
Especially in the first game.
Yeah, you will always see me talking to them. I think there's value in really calling kids out, holding them accountable, because that's the only way they're going to get better.
And that time, an offensive foul called on Makajula, and the UAAP coaching staff was stressing that Makajula was flaring her elbows, though that time they got the benefit of the whistle. Oñate to Trinidad. Jumper is good.
Oh, it's so nice to see her get her first college bucket. I've watched her throughout high school, and it's good to see her get opportunities here in the college scene.
Batumbakan, cut off. Cacho, nice defense by Yui. They're all over the place. And 3-second violation.
We see a little frustration here from Sarah. I think she wanted them to get her the ball.
Trinidad with her first bucket, CC.
Yeah, it's so nice to see. She's one to have nerves on her face, but it looks there like she was confident.
Ashley Trinidad, coming out of the NUNS program. The runners-up in the girls' division last season. Trinidad is rejected by De La Rosa.
That was a great counter by Lakayanga. If you watch Ateneo's defense, they're switching a lot.
And that switch resulting in that Casey rejection. Oñate aggressive. And
Great take nonetheless.
Secures. But yeah, been aggressive. Yeah, you gotta appreciate Yui.
Not every game you're gonna go up against twin towers like Casey and Sarah. So if you're able to get shots off right now, like, there's positives going into the next couple of games for UE.
That's a great point, CC. Sometimes you really can't hang your head after one game because you're facing a totally different opponent the next.
Yeah, this is a long season. You're gonna go up against Ateneo again, but you also have a lot of other looks for the rest of the season. So walk away with the positives and see what works.
.140 to play here in the third frame. Nice defense there by Malagar. 5 to work with for Lakayanga, crossing over. Jumper off the glass.
She has that really quick crossover. As soon as you shift your feet one way, she knows she's going the other.
It's the killer crossover that really shifts her defender. De La Rosa sees two. Outside to Millie. Millie doesn't work. De La Rosa will finish the play. That should be a foul on the rookie. Proceed is replay of De La Rosa's putback.
So big, and she's able to get up so high.
De La Rosa now with 23 and 7, plus 4 steals and 3 blocks.
It's good that Casey has added to her game where she doesn't have to dribble the ball as much. She's using her footwork to get easy baskets. That prevents all the pesky guards from getting the ball from her.
That's something you noticed, the difference, subtle difference from Casey's game this time around.
Yeah, I know she's been putting a lot of work in the offseason with Better Basketball coach Patrick Tadoko. She's working on being a guard and adding that to her game because you know she's so dominant in the paint. So what can she do outside? Especially if she wants to play international later on.
In the meantime, the no-look finds no one, and turnover by De Luna. About a 2-second difference between our two clocks. Bacalares, nowhere to go. Onyate, deep three, does not find the bottom of the net. Cancho will push. Cancho all the way with the right hand. So at the end of 3 periods, 60-41 is our tally. The Blue Eagles maintain their advantage. Let's check out that third quarter once again, CC.
I think UE was able to produce better shots. They were aggressive, especially on defense. They weren't giving as many easy baskets to Casey and the rest of the Ateneo squad. So there was value in that third quarter for them.
Nairo Ronquillo, the leading scorer of UE, leading the charge. But Kate Cancho and the rest of the Blue Eagles still in full control of this contest after 3 periods. Ateneo with a 60-41 edge.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays, talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Impressions of the Blue Eagles and the UE Lady Warriors. A new look, especially for UE, new head coach, revamped roster, and this is, I should say, maybe the growing pains of the rebuilding season for UE.
When it comes to a team like UE, you just want to walk away with the positives. You're going up against Casey De La Rosa, the reigning MVP. You're going to have a hard time in the paint, but they're shooting better from the outside, and they're able to capitalize on those downhill drives.
And for Ateneo, they have their eyes set on a Final Four appearance. I know it's the first game of the season, but when you have two-time MVP Casey De La Rosa, it's all about the long-term vision.
Yeah, and Coach Ele emphasized that what's going to carry them into that long-term, into that playoff run is their bench depth. We've seen a bit of it today, but hopefully come season, come deeper in the game, we see a lot more players stepping up.
So fourth quarter underway. Thank you for joining us on One Sports, Pilipinas Live app, and the UAAP Varsity channel. And our quarter scoring, CC, it really is that second period where Ateneo took charge.
Yeah, scoring only 9 points for UE. They need to get into double digits to be competitive at Ateneo. But I think Ateneo scoring 15 plus on them, that was just an emphasis on getting the ball to the big man and whoever has the advantage.
30 seconds into our fourth period. Both teams have already scored. So a much quicker pace here to start the fourth. Yanez batting Cancho, and it ends up with Buscar. Buscar cut off. She'll take the three and hit the three.
They have a lot of screens being set, so as the ball handler, you need to extend it and be able to read what your offense is doing.
And the steal. Unfortunate miss there for Lithuania. Alley-oop De La Rosa.
Oh man, what a dream it must be to play with Casey. You throw the ball up and she'll just get it wherever it is in the air.
So action-packed, a minute and a half in the fourth. I think it's safe to say the first game jitters are gone.
Yeah, now it's all about execution and seeing what you can take into the following game.
Ivy is blocked by Kate. Lopez bounce back to Cancho.
Good pass, way to find her on the inside.
Here's that alley-oop De Luna to De La Rosa.
You know what, next time I want to see them throw it closer at the rim. Let's force Casey to dunk that ball.
Okay, we have to tell Erica next time. Credit Erica too. She was looking as if she was going for the layup, then leaving him at the last second.
A little deceiving.
Kate Cancho, no, she didn't average a lot of points last season, but we're seeing more usage from Kate this season.
She's an aggressive player. She does a lot of the stuff that you don't see on the score sheet. So it's nice to see that she's also getting buckets this season.
Cancho gets Ateneo this 21-point advantage. Ronquillo decides to take it to the hoop. Rejected up top by Cancho.
That was great defense. She took the contact and got the block.
You have to see that once again. Picture perfect timing from Cancho.
She met her at the rim. That was a beautiful clean block right there.
And I think Cancho was a bit shy to smile. You can smile after that block.
Hey, I like a player who's humble, but on a block, yeah, celebrate that.
You had a number of, emphatic rejections here and there.
Oh, I could. My brain goes straight to one play, but we're not going to reference that. But it's nice. A block is nice, honestly.
Here's Gracie. Botombaka with a burst of speed. Can't finish the layup, but she will go to the line. Rachel is asking for a challenge. She's had a tough afternoon. 5 fouls for Lakayanga in her season 8 debut. Will Coach Ivan challenge? Apparently not. So Rachel will sit. So not the best of debuts for Lakayanga. Frustrating afternoon for her. So things are in order. Botombaka is at the line.
I think Rachel's a little frustrated with how she ended that game. But you still have how many games for the rest of the season?
Who's that? Foul? Oh, Rachel might have a point there.
I think she did.
Another crack at the basket. And Lopez drills the three. The rookie getting into the scoring act. It is now a 69-45 advantage as we head into this timeout. Jasmine Johnson in attendance.
My fellow teammate on the 3x3 national team, Jasmine Johnson, a revered alumni of Ateneo.
You had your fair share of battles with
One
her.
of my favorite players to guard. The competitiveness of us is really brought out when we're in a matchup.
Foul called on Batong Bakal. 7.5 to play. If you're just tuning in, Rachel Lacayanga has fouled out. Tough afternoon for UE's top guard. And a shot clock runs out for UE.
That was good defense on the end of Ateneo. They're almost just anticipating what UE is going to run on offense because UE needs to do a better job at reading what the defense is giving them rather than just running through the motions.
Right, coaches really talk about reacting to different plays, right?
Yeah, especially on their kind of offense, it's a lot of handoffs and screens. So you're basing your next movement off of what the defense is giving, not off of what the play gives.
In the meantime, Casey now up to 28 points. Sancho completes the steal and throws the ball away. De La Rosa just took her time.
Too easy. Bump, bump, and then she's able to have a little turnaround.
And gets the steal. Steal number 5 for De La Rosa. Goes behind the back and leaves it to Cancho.
We'll count it as an assist.
Blue Eagles pouring it on. The biggest lead of the ball game, 73-45. We have another timeout.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Their first game of the season. It's been all Casey De La Rosa so far, showing us his full arsenal, whether it's scoring or dropping it off. (27-9) for De La Rosa. An 11-0 run so far for Ateneo. De La Rosa comes up with another steal and put 2 more to her name.
That's her 5th steal of the game. I think that's a very quiet stat of hers right now. We're used to seeing her have double-doubles, being super dominant in the offense, in the points and the rebounding department. But seeing those steals is nice.
Onyate can't finish. Ronquillo blocked from behind by De Luna. Gracie gets her own miss. But the pass was stolen. Here come the Lady Warriors. Shot bothered by De La Rosa. And the find to De Luna, who misses the gimme.
It's nice to see Casey running the point a little bit, getting her teammates baskets.
You mentioned her work in the off-season, trying to put more guard skills into her arsenal.
Yeah, if you're Casey De La Rosa, you've already been the MVP how many times? You want to see how you can still elevate your game because you don't want to stay stagnant. You're essentially the future of women's basketball here in the Philippines. So it's great to see that she keeps trying to improve and up the standard.
And Casey will, I assume, sit the rest of the way. 29 points, 9 rebounds, 5 steals, 4 blocks. In comes Mon Fetalvero. Looking ahead, Ateneo will take on Adamson on Sunday. UE will take on UP on Sunday as well.
That'll be a nice matchup, I think, a matchup of that Final Four again. It'll be a good test of Ateneo's character, especially after a big win like this.
Ball bounced around. Go to red ball, says our official. Of course, Ateneo looking for revenge after they were beaten by Adamson in the stepladder.
In dramatic fashion. Yes, that too.
And overtime as well. So that is what I'm assuming Coach L.A. is thinking about.
Right, after a win like this, how do you continue to push that? How do you look for improvements? Because winning hides a lot of flaws.
Fetalvero misses from deep. And Adamson and UP will face each other later on tonight at 7. Fetalvero still has the rock. Fetalvero, full game is pure.
It's good confidence to see from one of their bench players that as soon as you get in, instant impact.
And Villa Cruz forces a turnover.
With a guard-heavy team, I think UE needs to dribble the ball a little less. The ball moves faster on the pass, so maybe that could be a point of emphasis for them into the next couple of practices.
Well, Coach Ian did say, no kambakone. We might have to, you work our speed, work on the pace of the ball game. Back-to-back blowers for Fetalvero. Coming up on 3 minutes remaining here in this ball game, and what will inevitably be a win for the Blue Eagles. What for UE? The work continues. This is just the first game for Coach Ian.
Right. It's frustrating. You're joining a new team so late in the season, and they're not necessarily the most successful team, but that gives you a chance to rebuild in the way that you want it to. You're going to be able to have a foundation that's completely new, and hopefully the players buy into his system and they're able to find something that works for them.
How important is forming those habits for a rebuilding team?
Super important. I think that good teams have a good culture, and good culture starts with good habits. So especially Ronquillo, Lacayanga, you want to establish that early. You want to set the tone for the rest of the team.
UE has been scoreless for the last 9 minutes. Let's see if Riza Salisa can change that. Yes, she does. A tough first game for these women. Salisa goes 2 for 2. He just checked into this ball game. finally ends the 9-minute scoring drought for UE. Nice feed inside, but out of bounds was Gwen Chan. Two and a half to play in this contest. Gomez dumps it off to Salise. 8 to shoot. Salise. Gomez. 3. That was a long 2, says our official.
That was good. She was able to get a paint touch and find the open man. If you're UE, you just want to keep getting shots up and you want to figure out what works for you guys. And I love that UE is still putting the pressure on this late in the game.
Yeah, and team captain Ali Ronquillo is still in the ballgame together with the bench. Yanez is fouled. Ivy Yanez is one of the players that Coach Ian said he's waiting to step up this season.
Yeah, I like her aggressiveness. I like that she's not necessarily, she doesn't have the ball in her hands that much, but she finds a way to get it off of offensive rebounds or diving for the ball.
It was just a tough challenge for UE's front court to battle Sarah Macanjula and Casey De La Rosa for their first game.
It's a tough matchup for sure, but just walk away with the positives.
Under 2 minutes to play. Chan gets the pass. Turnover for Ateneo. There's that aggressiveness coming from Yanez. And 8-second violation. Now for Ateneo, as we take a look at Coach LA, what do you want to see from them, as they start the season, as they start their redemption bid for the season?
You do want to see what he emphasized on earlier. You want to see bench production. You want to see somebody who can take over the spot of Galago, because that was a big loss for them. So you want to see guards having that outside shot, being aggressive, and not necessarily relying on their big men.
At least today, Owani, Cancho, and company really helped Macanjula and De La Rosa. And shot clock will run out once again for UE.
Sometimes you spend a lot of time moving the ball looking for the best option, only to realize you ran out of time looking for that. So UE just needs to be a little more aware of the shot clock.
Lopez finds Chan. And the basket is good from Rish Olivenza. Under a minute to play here. Stay tuned right here at One Sports and the UAAP Varsity channel and the Filipinas Live app. The men's will be front and center. Blue Eagles versus the Red Warriors. That is coming up next. Down to the last 30 seconds. Petalvero does not get the bounce. Two more shots for Yanez.
The aggressiveness is not stopping here.
Now, coaches always say, don't look at the score, don't look at the time. Sometimes they mean that literally, I guess.
I guess so. Until the buzzer ends, you keep playing.
You have to appreciate the aggressiveness, from Yanis especially. Goes 1 for 2. And putting on the finishing touches of this game. And Ateneo will hold. Your final for the first game of the women's division. Ateneo 81, UE 52. Coach L.A. Mamar and his team off to a terrific start in season 88. They blow past UE 81 to 52. A strong performance from De La Rosa and company. Once again, your final. And it's a very good start for Ateneo CC.
Yeah, we knew Ateneo was going to come out aggressive. You have UE, who's not the most competitive team, but it's also a team who you can't take for granted. So it's good to see that Coach LA has a good system, and he's really improving this year.
And on the other end, UE, this is the first game for Coach Ian Valdez. These are the growing pains that he and his team will have to go through. And you see the sportsmanship of UE. They will bow in front of Ateneo. So that's part of the culture that Coach Ian is trying to build. But our best player of the game, none other than Casey De La Rosa.
We knew going into it, Casey is going to be aggressive. She had a great showing with Gilas during the summer. But it's nice to see that Casey is adding new aspects to her game. We know she's going to be aggressive, but we want to see that maturity down the stretch and her ability to play through calls and really lead that team.
And the numbers for De La Rosa, huge, to say the least, CC.
Almost a double-double, but I really like that she has 5 steals and 4 blocks. I also want to see her assists go up a little, but Casey, she's the MVP. What can you expect?
2-time MVP, fresh off another Final Four appearance. So, good job for De La Rosa and Ateneo. And speaking of Ateneo, the men's division will take center stage as the Blue Eagles will take on the UE Red Warriors. That will happen just a bit right here inside the UST Quadricentennial Pavilion. So stay tuned for that. The second game of the women's will take place later on tonight. So for my partner, CC, making her debut today, Camille Clarin, our director, Marvin Chavez, our game producer, Eva de los Reyes, and all the hardworking men and women of Signal TV. This has been Yoyo Sarmenta saying thank you for watching and stay tuned for more Season 88.